Welcome to Life, the podcast that dives into life. It's open to life. We discuss and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. My name is Adam Farrell, and I'm here with my co-host, Steve Ballard. Welcome to Life Podcast. My name's Adam.
I'm Steve as always, and today we've made a trip down south to Somerset. It's chucking it down with rain, unfortunately, to be in the presence of this running legend, which is Adam Tango Holland. This has been planned since, when was it, December, I think?
January.
Anyway, I've been really excited to sit down with Adam and dive into the world of running. It's not running though, is it? It's not just running. We'll get into that, but welcome Adam, and thank you very much for giving us time.
Thank you for coming all this way.
It was a trek, wasn't it? But
just a bit.
You're well worth it. I think, first of all, Tango.
Yes.
Let's start off with your name. Where did Tango come from? Because it's kind of stuck.
Yes, it originally came from college. When I started, no one knew my name, and as I was climbing a wall, I liked to wear orange, and someone shouted Tango, and it kind of
stuck.
I'm not complaining. I'm really happy with it.
It's catchy. It goes with the flames.
Yes, it does.
But we'll go. And we've got an exclusive. I don't know if it's going out, isn't it? Well, this will be out after next weekend, so it might be all right.
That's fine.
That might be all right. But first people to see something. We'll show you in a bit. But Adam is a very, very, very accomplished runner, to say the least.
I've done a few things.
400.
I why you're just flippant about it. I've done a few things.
476 marathons.
So what's an ultramarathon?
So technically, a marathon is 26.2 miles. Anything over that distance is classed as an ultra, but some people say anything over 31 miles is an ultra just because they want to be a bit more technical about what an ultra is.
Right. What's a maximum ultra?
Well, I can go. I've done a 215 mile ultra.
In one go?
In one go, yeah.
That's it.
As far as what we've travelled.
See, I know. We've just been obviously at Adam's place for probably half an hour setting up. I was just firing just general questions. I'll just say it's going to be a case of he's going to say something and we're just going to be mesmerised and laugh at him. It's how. Where do you start?
Do you want to know a bit more about that?
I want to know more about everything.
I'll tell you more about the 215 miles.
Where was that?
That was 2 years ago. Race across Scotland. So,
across the...
Yeah, from one end to the other. It's the South Downs Way Ultra by GB Ultra. And it's 215 miles. You start one end and you just have to get to the other within the time limit you get given. The course record was 65 hours, and I did it in 60 hours in 14 minutes, breaking the course record. And you can actually see my journey, the whole thing. I've got a YouTube video on it, so you can actually see my journey throughout it.
The link is up there.
Yeah, I'll tag that in. I'll link it in for you.
It had less than 2 hours sleep in that 2.5 days of running.
Less than 2 hours sleep?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never done anything like that before.
Is that the most insane sort of journey you've done?
I've done some really strange and...
Stupid?
Yeah, that springs to mind.
It's all even a 5k park one is stupid. Honestly, we've got real cross interest, but like we said before, it's just nice to sit down with people that excel in their fields and just what drives you and stuff like that. So, where do you sleep for these 2 hours?
Again, on the video, you'll see one is in like a rabbit's hut type thing. I put a photo of it in the video.
A rabbit hut?
It was like a box that, not a small rabbit hut. Maybe you could fit a sheep in it, basically, sort of thing. Just one sheep. And that was for, I think it was half an hour, 20 minutes. And then the other one was inside a building. I tried to put my head down for longer, but it was just too noisy for me. And the next person came in shortly after, so I was already up and getting ready to go. So just went on, and then daylight comes up. You just got to carry on then.
Wow.
Whereabouts did you? I know you say you got to go from one side to the other.
Yep.
Where did you start and where did you finish?
I don't know the names. I'm dyslexic. I can't read.
Fair enough.
Is it sort of central Scotland?
It is roughly somewhere up there. I'm sure if people look up the event, they will come have a look.
Yeah, I'll have to find that out because I'm intrigued to know where what exactly.
I did have a map on my phone and I could have shown you, but somehow I've deleted it.
How do you prep? How do you prep for 60 hours of running?
So I had no idea how many hours I was going to be doing. So I didn't expect that I was going to be that quick. I thought it was going to be maybe 80 hours, and I'm expecting to sleep a lot more. It comes with more preparation by taking part in other races. Like I've done quite a few 24-hour races, so it's kind of getting used to it.
Running for 24 hours is...
Yeah, and a lot of the times when I've done them, I genuinely sleep for 2-3 hours, and then before that event, I think a couple of months before, I actually did a 24 hours where I ran through the night, which I didn't normally do. And I think that helped for the longer run, knowing that I could run through the night without the sleep. But it is really difficult running at night time and trying to stay awake when you're running and you're tired.
It's difficult to stay awake while you're running.
I was kind of tired going into the race anyway, because I have a family, I had kids. As a family, yeah. I meant to say work, not kids.
Yeah.
And I kind of just had to do things as normal leading up to the event.
Of course.
Then it was a journey from down here all the way up to Scotland, and luckily enough, I got to halfway, Newark, where my crew member Adam drove me from there up to Scotland, so I was able to get a little bit more sleep in the car whilst we were going.
Right, okay. It was just two of you?
Just the two of us, and we went up the night before. Did a short run to check the beginning out the night before, and again that's on.
What do you class as a short run?
I knew you were going to say that. When I think I did. I think it might have been about 11 or 12 miles. It was a lot longer than it was supposed to have been.
See, this I can't get my head around it.
See, 11 or 12 miles, a short run. 11 or 12 miles run to me would kill me. It'd write me off for days.
I've never ran 5k.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet. Yeah,
I can't see me doing a 5k.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
I don't want to.
No, fair enough.
I don't. I'm built. And I've got enough skills. I don't have to run away from people. That's why I spent my whole life being as menacing as I can, so I don't have to run.
Is that why I've got so quick when I'm running?
Possibly.
Running away.
No, but on a serious note, though, I think running's boring.
Yes,
okay?
I get that.
You must understand that some aspects of running. What do you enjoy about running? Especially when we're looking at 200 plus miles, you've got to seriously enjoy something about that.
Yeah.
What is it?
The whole experience of it, seeing the whole different landscapes you're going across, the challenge. During that event, I didn't obviously get to meet many people, but during a lot of races, I do get to see people that I've not met before and talk to, like you guys I'm talking to now. People like to hear some of the stuff I've been up to, and it's nice to hear what some of them people have been up to.
Because you're very motivational.
Thank you.
From what I've seen, obviously we've got a mutual friend, Lee Marshall. Hello, Lee. He introduced me to you. He's got. I did ask him.
Sorry, Lee, it's a little bit short.
It's been a snip, mate. I did ask him. That's the first question I asked him. Sorry, where was it? Very motivational and inspirational and stuff like that. And my wife started running last year, and she comes back. It's a worldwide community.
Yes.
And I think that is so beautiful to see. I'm not involved, but I see it from the outside. I see your posts, and obviously I'm friends with Lee and my missus, so I see it and it's really, really nice.
My wife's the same, because she's not a runner, but she sees the other side of it through me, and when actually she came to the event at the weekend, don't often get the opportunity to do that because of the children, but they all came down, and my eldest actually ran the one lap, which was about 3.3 miles, and she got given a medal as well, and my wife pushed the buggy with the two youngest, one of them still on the back and the other one sat in it, obviously. Went down and did a lap as well.
Oh, nice.
So, and it was nice because I was I got a few messages saying, "Oh, it's really nice to see your children, your wife," and
Yeah.
it was really nice.
It's like a big family, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what, from looking at it, seems such a beautiful thing to be involved with.
Yeah, I've been doing it just over 20 years now, running.
I mean, how old are you?
I am 34.
34.
I am 35 on Saturday.
Were you in Cyprus?
No, that's the following week.
Oh, the following weekend.
Yeah.
Very happy returns.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm 35 though.
And achieved all that.
Wow, that's incredible.
Well, for myself, I'm 32 next month, and I sit there in comparison and go, fuck. Well, no.
Just going back to the question, like, what drives you to... Obviously, I'm trying to put my head... I can't even put my head in running down the street, let alone 200 miles. It must get boring.
There are times...
You're getting tired.
Yeah.
Your body's failing. You want sleep. It's dark or getting
You're
dark.
getting
You
hungry.
can't see the scenery. How do you keep your mind active?
Different ways. Why I'm doing it. If it's for charity, I'm doing it because I'm trying to raise that money for that charity, so I need to keep going. My family might be at the end. I want to get to that end to see my family. Someone might want me, for example, the race director or whatever wants me to break that course record, so I've got to just push that a little bit more to break that course record. There are many different ways of training your mind to do what you don't expect.
Do you do a lot of mind work?
No, none.
No,
But
you don't meditate or anything like that?
I don't do anything like that, but I learnt very early on, especially from doing my 10 marathons in 10 days, that running isn't just about running, it is a mental thing as well as physical. And a huge part of your running is a mental, because your mind will give out before your body.
Yeah, 100%. About 100% agree with that.
We've said this before, haven't we?
Or this is any sport. Once your mind's gone, you just can't be bothered, or you give up, and it's soul destroying.
I think it's easier to be picked up. I've competed in team sports and solo sports. And I think as human beings, is to strip everything else away, we are tribal people.
Yeah.
We go in groups.
I love playing hockey.
That's what I mean.
I love that.
And if you've got one person that's a bit down, how easy is it for 10 other people to pick that person up? It's a lot easier than that person to pick themselves up.
Yes.
That's why I've got so much envy for people like you guys who just set off on a road and run. And it's like, how do you keep going? Because if that was me, there's a bird. I'll just stop and have a look at the bird, or a nice sunset. I want to have half an hour.
You see, I'd run down the road, the first pub that I'd come to, that'd be it. I'd be like, right, there we go. That's me done.
You'll really struggle at the London Marathon then.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
How many times have you done that?
Have
you done it?
5 times, I think. I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's 4 or 5 times. I've done it a few times.
Wow. See, that's an achievement. Like Lee did his first last year, wasn't it?
It might have been the year before.
No, it was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Oh, seems such a long time ago.
But he was buzzing. Obviously, Lee's an accomplished runner. He can run. He's ran all over the world, Malta and whatever else. And for like Lee to the build up and the anticipation to run this London Marathon, it must be a big thing in a run as well.
His build up was quite a long time because he'd been wanting to do it for ages.
Yeah.
And he did my event. He did the double back to back. And I can't remember exactly, but he did a lot of miles the first day and really struggled the second day. But I just kind of coached him through what he needed to do.
What, and during the build-up was this?
No, this was just my event at the weekend that I do up there. And he came and did both days. And he'd never done like a double the first time round. And he was kind of in pain, struggling a little bit because he'd obviously run really far the first day. And he wanted to try and get quite a few miles in the second day. Mm-hmm. So it was just trying to encourage him to, once you get going, it's a lot easier than
it's just that initial step into it.
Yeah, and he did get going, and I'm pretty sure he won. He definitely won the overall. He might have won both days as well.
Wow. Is that down to your coaching, do you think?
No,
Would you like to say it?
His personal fitness, but
Yeah,
I like to think I did help him with some advice.
When's the last race you did? When was the last sort of competition you entered?
Race, I did a marathon on Saturday.
This weekend, what are you doing?
This weekend is my birthday, and I'm supposed to be running 35 miles over the weekend.
Of course, I saw that. 35.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is medals available as well.
Talking about medals, we've got a stack. Well,
you got a
couple here.
Yeah,
There's a
more, but...
because, did I say that? Is his world record holder?
Yeah, at the start you did.
But anyway, the 10 in 10. 10 marathons in 10 consecutive days. Is that correct?
That's correct. No gaps.
No gaps. And you got the world record for that?
I have, yes.
And which one is it?
Well, there's one of the ones I have.
Have you got that one? That's the first one, is it?
Well,
2010.
This is 2010.
Oh no, you did 2009 there.
But that's a different record again.
All right, okay.
I've never been in the same room as a Guinness World Record.
No, neither have I.
So even this is something for me.
So in 2009, I did the Windermere 10 marathons in 10 days because I was trying to get to 100 marathons. I wanted to become the youngest, so I thought that was a good way of bumping up my numbers, doing a 10 in 10.
Yeah.
I went along and broke the world record, broke Steve Edwards' record, which he set the previous year. Then I went back in 2010 and took another 2 hours off the record.
Broke your own record?
I broke my own record. And then 2014, I broke my record but couldn't claim for it because it was on a multi-terrain course. It wasn't all road.
Right,
so
okay.
The only way I could do it was either going back to Windermere, which isn't a flat course. It's quite hilly, undulating. But then I got invited to Italy to do a 10 in 10 out there. And again, that's not a flat course, but it's an out and back 2-lap course. And in 2017, I absolutely obliterated the record. And now my average is 2 hours and 45 minutes each day, roughly.
A marathon every day for 10 days in 2 hours 45 minutes ish.
Yeah.
So basically, you're doing it in less than 3 hours. That means you've still got 21 hours of your day left.
Yeah. So
you could literally wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and be done for dinner time.
I was, and I was.
It just sounds so easy when you put it like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going back to my hotel, and then they have such an amazing event. They go out for meals, have a whole social side of it. Obviously, they speak Italian, but a few of them speak English, so they would talk to me as well, and they were so friendly over there. And then they invited me back the following year, and again the year after that. But I didn't break the record, but I still won. I still won the 10 in 10 event, and I've now done 14 10 in 10s.
Doing one marathon now is a lifetime achievement.
Of course
It is for a lot of people, yeah.
And you've done 14 10 in 10s.
Yes.
That's 140 marathons there.
And I've done a 24 and 17 days as well. But that was separate events. I travelled around to join together. So it was like a double, 14 and 7, triple and a double or something like that.
Wow.
What a single somewhere.
What's been your most enjoyable race? I keep hitting the 400 plus marathons.
There are so many different races and they all have their own story, their own background. Like you said earlier, how many times I've done London. Well, each time I've done it, it's been different. The weather, the start I've been at. So it's really difficult, but kind of like there's one race that always stands out, and it was after Bristol, because I felt like it was the one race that I really worked hard to take the win. It was me and one other runner, and I took the lead at the beginning, and I think it was roughly about halfway he overtook me, and then in the second half was a lot of hills, up and downs, and on the uphills I would pass him, on the kind of flats he would pass me, and on the downhills he'd pull away a little bit, and I knew there was a really big hill coming up towards the last couple of miles, and I really worked hard to try and pull that gap away, and then was able to stay ahead and get in and obviously win it. It was 2:31 my time was for that.
I don't really think at running races to have strategies.
Oh yes.
But I suppose if you're competitive like you are, you need to.
Even parkrun is not a race, but I still, one of my strategies is to run the last mile backwards, so I can see what I've got to expect for the last mile. So if I'm with someone, I can then work out if I need to speed up, if there's going to be a...
Running backwards?
Not literally running backwards.
Right, you have to explain this to me, sorry.
So backwards running isn't literally running backwards, but it's doing the last mile, running the last mile in reverse so that I can see what I've got for the last mile running into the finish.
Right.
So, for example, if I run the last mile into the finish, I know if there's any sharp turns, if the road's uneven. Yeah. So it kind of gives me a mental and physically know what I've got coming. Yeah. If I'm running with someone, then I'll know that I need to pick up here, or if I've got to be on the inside or the outside of that person. So I have a more of an advantage.
So I'm assuming you do that though before the race starts.
Yes,
You do it like the day
it's
before.
kind of well, generally before the actual race itself, as
it's a bit of a
warm up.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll run the last bit of the race, obviously in reverse, because normally when you go to a race, you drop the bags off where the start finish is. So you genuinely have to run it backwards to just run it forwards.
That's quite bizarre.
Another way of explaining it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of my things.
It's like I'm trying to get my head around the question. Really. I'm sorry, but I'm struggling to absorb all this like endurance information. Are you at the point in your career, because you're a runner? Are you at the point now where you don't have to train? Are you always?
No.
I don't. If you can run a marathon, you can run. In my head.
Yeah, but do you class it as training if you just run for fun anyway, like most days? Is that really training, or is it that you're just running for the laugh?
So there was an article a newspaper wrote saying that I don't do any training, and they worded it wrong, which I was racing every weekend and doing racing in the weeks as well. And those races were my training. It wasn't like I was doing nothing. I was racing all the time, so I was keeping my fitness up.
See, that's totally... In my head, it's like you've got a fighter, and they will have a fight, and they will have an 8-week camp where they train to get ready for this fight.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very, very hard for a fighter to remain fight ready all year round. I know some do, obviously.
Yeah.
After this, I think we're going to go on to nutrition a bit and how you fuel and stay, because you are race ready. You are race ready, aren't you?
I'm race ready.
We can go out and do a 5k now.
Or a marathon.
See, I went low for the 5k. So you're race ready.
Yeah.
All year round.
Pretty much, yeah. I can just jump back into it. I won't be as fast as I could be, but I'll still be able to do it. Yeah, I'll still be competitive.
Exactly. So it's like you don't have to train for a marathon now, do you?
No, but I do need to train to be able to get that faster time that I'm not getting.
Right, okay. And
so,
you're training for the time, you're not training for the distance.
Yeah, so I'm not even doing that at the moment. Because my marathon PB is 2:24.24, but at the moment I'm running around 2:40 or 2:36, I think I did.
Okay, so if you was to train then to get that down, how long would that take you roughly?
If I was to do it properly, maybe 12 weeks to get it back down.
Really?
Yeah. That's a lot of people tend to take, I think, up to 16, 20 weeks to do their training properly to be even able to run a marathon.
It took me more than 20 weeks to be able to get fit enough to run a marathon.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Couch to 5k, that'd be my first start if I was going to do it, and I'd just conquer that.
That's how my missus started.
Yeah.
She's doing her first half marathon this year, hopefully.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's pretty good.
But you got to start somewhere, and even I started somewhere. I was started at school, did cross country. And
I did cross country at school. I used to hide in the bushes for a fag on the first lap.
A lot of people like that.
And catch them up on the second lap. That's what I used to do. But yeah, I suppose you used to compete at county level, did you, at school and that sort of thing?
I did later on in school. I was not earlier on in school. I was kind of one of the ones at the back.
Right. Okay.
And slowly made my way up.
So anyway, back to the training. So how would you? So you need to knock 15 minutes off your marathon time now to your PB if you're going for a PB.
Yeah.
So how would you go about? Obviously, you don't have to reveal secrets or anything, but
and there's no secrets.
No, I didn't know if you got any like secret training techniques, Mr. Miyagi style or anything like that.
It's I guess because it's because I got no one there supporting me. I got no one I can run with. I find it difficult to put in that kind of special training, as you could say, and that's why I race every weekend. It's just easier to.
Is that the only time you can find someone to keep up with you in a race sort of environment?
Around here, there's not a lot of people.
That's what I mean.
I have to travel.
How do you find training partners in this sort of elite level?
I'd have to move to wherever is more populated or better, I guess.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
There are a couple of runners in the southwest, but again, we're all spread out down here, so we only see each other pretty much at some of these races.
Right. Okay. So it's just head down. You're just trying to pick up your speed every week on marathons and that sort of thing.
But I do if you tune into my YouTube channel, you'll see that I've done live streaming and I do a lot of treadmill running. So I run in a virtual world with many other people around the world, and that has really helped during the week doing some fast stuff. I did a duathlon event the last 4 weeks where I did 35 minutes on my bike, indoor bike, and then it was a 15-minute run on the treadmill. And you had to do as far as you can on both to get these points. And I was number one on the running every time, and I managed to do just over 5k for the 15 minutes.
Whereas, look, on the way up, I told Adam your 5k PB's 15, isn't it?
So outdoors, officially, it's 15:31. But I did a 4k relay race, and if I carried on that extra kilometre, in theory, I would have been around 14:50. But because I don't physically train for that specific thing, I haven't got that time.
So would your training different? So if you went out and say, right, this week I'm doing a park run, I want to go sub 15, would your training differ to a marathon sort of?
Yeah, it would. There would definitely be difference.
What would get you? What I'm trying to get
more
at?
speed work and.
What would be easier to achieve?
Shorter distance, surely you'd be focusing on the power and the speed of it.
Yeah.
Whereas marathons, I'm assuming you train for the endurance.
The endurance and then the speed with the endurance.
What's easier to achieve? If I said to you, right, you've got £1 million next weekend, if you, I wish, if you got to beat one PB, a 5k or a marathon, which one do you think you'll be most confident doing?
Oh, definitely the 5k.
Is that easier to achieve?
Because I know my 5k PB at the moment's not where it should be.
Right, you're slacking a bit, aren't you, Adam?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I think it'd be more difficult to get the marathon PB than it would be the 5k. But it would be nice to get back down to the marathon PB.
Will you get that this year?
No, I don't think I will this year.
You're not chasing that. What are you chasing this year?
So this year I turned 35
on
Saturday, and that means I officially become a vet 35, and I've applied to take part in the Milton Keynes Marathon, and if I finish in the top 5, I then represent England in the Vet 35s in the I think it's Chester Marathon, which is going to be the country or county event.
Right, okay. So that's what your goals are this year, sort of thing.
That and my Windermere 10 marathons in 10 days. Because I currently hold the course record, which is an average of 3 hours and 2 minutes, and I did 5 of the 10 under 3 hours. I want to go back, and as no one's come close to my course record, I want to be the one to go back and do 10 sub 3 hours on that course.
Are you a little bit... Do you want people to beat your record?
Yeah.
You do?
I do. It gives me something to go for then. The records are there to be broken.
Yeah, of course. But I don't know if you want to... I mean, you've got that many, it doesn't really matter losing one. So let's be honest.
Yeah, but then it gives me a chance to try
and beat them.
Yeah.
I suppose it gives you that extra goal, doesn't it? It gives you that other thing. Someone's taken that from you, and it's like, right, I'm going to get it back.
Yeah, well, that's what happened with the 10 and 10. I got that in 2010. In 2013, I was going to say 14, I think it's 13, Rick Verco beat my 10 and 10 record during it was either 14 or 16 over in the States, and he's from over here. And I had to get it back, so I did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you want people to beat it, but you want it back.
Yeah.
Is it?
You can borrow it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's mine really. Is it a case of, oh, you bastard, or well done, mate, you've done well?
Well done.
Is that honestly well done?
Honestly,
or it's
well
not?
Done.
Oh, well done, mate, you
mate.
bastard. Nothing like that.
No, not like that.
I think I'd be a little bit bitter.
No.
So it's not like losing a UFC title.
No, it's a bit different. It's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what did Mo Farah's attempted one of your records, didn't he?
I have no idea if he did. He didn't tell me. I don't know.
No, because that's what I've heard. He tried the treadmill record, and he failed.
He might have done, but that would probably just.
I didn't know whether you could.
I don't follow on social media a lot of the stuff that goes because there's so much going on. It's really hard to keep up to date with all the different running stuff that's going on.
That must be crazy. Yeah, so nutrition, if you don't mind talking. What is your... Oh, here's the embarrassing questions.
I don't have a nutrition.
No, seriously, you don't have a set fuel for these races?
No, not really. I'm what you call a fussy eater. I like to eat what I like.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I keep it plain and simple, which is like pizza, garlic bread, cheese and pasta.
Pizza.
Yeah.
That's
Well, pizza's one of
It's
the
really
top known foods because you can have whatever you want on the pizza that relates to your meal, what you want on it or what you need.
I just thought it contained a lot of bread. I didn't think bread had been.
But you don't have to have a thick crust.
That's
You can have a
still
thin,
baked, can't
yeah.
This is pizza
If you're gonna
podcast.
have a
isn't it?
pizza, though, you know what I mean. You
Yeah,
need
I
a
do
big-
like a thick crust.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Stuffed crust and stuff like that, packed full of cheese and.
Yeah, it's like doing a marathon though. Would you? Because if that was me, if I was doing a 5k run, if I was doing a park run with you, I'd be going to sleep at 8 o'clock the night before. I'd be having my porridge at 5 a.m. Seriously, I'll take it really seriously to give me the best sort of. So obviously, a 5k is nothing for you. It's like me stepping over a puddle, I suppose.
So on Saturday, I did the marathon.
Yeah.
I had one item to eat before. What do you think it was?
Banana.
No. I don't think you'll get it. But give it a couple more guesses.
Right, okay.
Hang on, was it what do they call them? They did square.
Square. I don't know what square is, but no.
Square, then breakfast bar, square things.
No.
They're like
yeah,
Cocoa Pops.
no.
What does somebody have to fuel them for a marathon?
I'm just thinking outside the box.
Yes, so am I.
Well, it's a good outlook. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
I just had a chicken nugget.
One chicken nugget.
One chicken nugget. I had pizza and chicken nugget.
Are you not worried about like calorie intake or?
No. I eat a lot during the week.
Do you? You
Yeah.
store
Kind of.
energy,
Yeah.
shall we say?
Yeah, but I had pizza and chicken nuggets all cooked up the night before, and because we were in kind of a rush to
I
get
bet
ready.
your kids love having tea with you, don't they? Pizza, chicken nuggets.
My wife makes sure that they eat more healthier than me.
Yeah.
They have. I love my vegetables and stuff. I love a whole roast meal
Yeah.
and all that. But when it comes to doing a run, I try to keep it just plain simple. No, nothing new.
Is that something you've learned to do, or is that just how you've done it your whole life?
Both, I think. I was always a fussy eater growing up. I have come to like more foods, but I think because I know it works for me, I've kind of kept it to that way. I've learnt that like I'm not a fan of eggs in the morning. They don't always go great because sometimes I can taste it or feel it when I'm running. And I try not to eat too much in the morning, so maybe a piece of toast or something small just so that I've got something in my stomach settled.
So you're not hungry, basically, just to settle that.
Just settle.
What about recovery then after? Do you fuel your body? Because this goes against all science. I
Yeah,
know.
this is what's
This really
really
does.
confusing me. It's
I'm
like
into my fitness and stuff like that. This goes against everything I've ever known.
So those nuggets and pizza slices were all in a tray ready for after that marathon. And that's why I only had the one nugget. So I had some of the chicken nuggets and pizza after that marathon, and my wife actually brought me down to McDonald's. So I had a
Junk food's
meat
the way
burger
forward.
fast
and some
food.
fries.
Wow.
It's It's not what I would normally have at McDonald's. It was just a treat on that occasion.
I think you've earned it.
Well, I don't think I
Well, when
do.
you think about the amount of calories you must burn off from all that running,
Do you track that?
I'm assuming one or a McDonald's afterwards is not going to even scratch the surface for the amount that you've burnt off.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know because it's not great food that digests well.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
as
Yeah, it
It's
is
crap.
crap,
It's rubbish.
but it's not going to. Like if you take someone that doesn't exercise or does nothing,
yeah. Well,
they eat at McDonald's, that's just stored as fat crap.
Yeah.
But at least if you've done that amount of exercise before, it's not going to be fat crap. Even though you're eating fat crap, it's not going to be fat crap.
Have you played with your diet and nutrition? So I need to get quicker. I'll see if I can, pass to the night before and overload on something. Or
no, I haven't really.
do you think as you get older, that's something that might become a little bit more important?
Probably.
Are we overthinking this too much from thinking about it being a physical activity? Are we because when you think about it, all this kind of food and nutrition and stuff like that plays a part for.
It does definitely play a part.
Yeah.
But I think does it play more of a part in things like bodybuilding and things like that because you're building on yourself when you're doing running? It's kind
You
of
still need the muscles.
yeah, but it's not the
everyone's
same, is it?
Everyone is different, and I know that works for me, but it definitely wouldn't work for someone else.
It won't work for me. A chicken nugget? I could get to the end of the road on a chicken nugget.
It was just there, so I just ate the one chicken nugget, and then
if it wasn't there, you would have gone out on a fasted.
Yeah.
A fasted run.
Yeah, and then it was an 8-lap course, so every lap I just had a small drink, and that was
Is that an energy drink or
it's
isotonic, that sort of thing, electrolytes?
Yeah, it's I can't even think of the name of it. It's called.
It's not important. It's not a paid advert.
No, it's not. But they've sent me the products, and I've got on with them really well. And they have one that's almost like a Turkish delight, and I had that in my back pocket, and I pull it out. And it's just like a little chewy.
Can you tell the difference?
I can't.
No.
I
bet your body can, surely.
Yeah.
It's like a coffee, isn't it? In the afternoon, you get a bit. You have a coffee. You can't really feel it, but
I don't drink hot drinks, so I wouldn't know.
Right.
So the
no. Oh no. You don't drink hot drinks at all?
No.
Hot chocolate?
No. Kids do. I don't.
Oh. See, I'm a bit of a coffee snob.
World record holder, not.
Yeah.
just saying, mate.
I have the odd fizzy drink. And that's something I kind of crave after a race. Is a
The
fizzy
sugars
drink.
and
Yeah.
What's your fizzy drink of choice, Luxie?
I don't mind Lucozade.
No.
Yeah, I like Dr Pepper or Iron Brew.
You've
Brew's
just
nice.
you've just made up for the fact that you drink coffee.
That's amazing. I'd never have guessed that. I thought we'd have a lot to talk about nutrition and fueling the body and recovery and stuff like that, but
No,
We've
it's
ticked it
not.
off. Pizza,
It's just
chicken nuggets, McDonald's.
well,
I don't advise it to anyone.
no. And you're also sponsored, aren't you, by a few? If you want to.
So I'm a sponsored athlete for Nova Pro. Which
What are they clothing? Are they running clothing?
No, they're the treadmill. So it's the treadmill I have.
I wish we could show you these treadmills and stuff.
I can take some cuts after
good
and put it
pieces of
together.
kit.
Yeah.
And the running shoes. Sorry.
Oh yes,
The running shoes.
Jesus.
What running shoes?
What?
Adam was saying beforehand, he was like, excuse me, shoes. We expected, a couple of pairs.
There's got to be over 50 pairs there, mate.
No, maybe about 30. But I
That we can see.
I got
Yeah, that
rid
we
of
can
about
see.
30 pairs last year. Oh, no, not that many.
Is it-
about 15 pairs last year.
A
So.
pair of running shoes lasts him 2 to 3 months.
It depends how many miles I'm doing. Because, like, 1 month last year, I did over 1,000 miles. And it's not just, that was just the running. That doesn't include any of the walking I was doing or any other little bits.
Average, what sort of mileage do you get out of a pair of running shoes?
I've had up to 2,000 miles in a pair of shoes, but I can really feel the difference because there's no comfort.
The
It's gone,
springiness goes
and you start to see at the bottom that the tread is going as well. But I'm quite lucky that I don't have like pointy toes or anything, so I don't get any holes in front of my shoes. So they do last longer than a lot of people's who have problems with the sides coming away because of the way they roll their foot. Or
And how much on average does a pair of shoes cost you?
For me, I try and win the vouchers, or if I can. A pair of shoes can cost anything from £80 to £250, depending on what sort of shoe you want.
I think Asics, if anyone from Asics is watching, give Adam some shoes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Appreciate that.
Come on.
Anybody that
If
deals
anyone
with
that
shoes,
deserves
give
it.
him some shoes.
That's insane. I think if I had a shoe brand,
Oh, 100%.
why wouldn't you want
It'd be a
Asics?
no-brainer to me.
But anyway, other sponsorship.
I do a few miles in them, so I get them. I get a lot of information.
A good
out of
tester.
them. Yeah.
A good shoe tester. But anyway, other sponsorships or endorsements you've got?
Got hair in my mouth, sorry.
Treadmills?
I get that a lot. I feel your pain.
Yeah, just the one. So I've got my treadmill supported by GB Ultra, Great Barrow. I'm an ambassador to Marathon Kids UK, which is
I was
a
wanting to
charity.
talk about a bit more about that one. But obviously, get your sponsorships out of the way and we'll just...
Yeah, Flancy, did you want to grab the shorts and show?
Yes,
yeah,
here we are, the exclusive. And so Adam is quite well known / famous for
I'll grab the other two.
flames.
Yes, my flames.
So if you go on Adam's Facebook, obviously we'll put all links there to his Instagram and Facebook.
My purple flames.
They're just nice. And you have these made for you, don't they, by this company?
So Flancy are the company that have all these amazing designs. They have loads, and I met the lady on a plane when I was going to Loch Ness Marathon, and she said if her company ever takes off and does well, she would support me. And then that's exactly what she did, and we came up with these flames, and that was my go-to.
I've seen a picture of your eldest in
Yes, my eldest has the flames.
So that's going to be a Holland brand, isn't it, going forward?
I hope
It's
so.
got to be.
That'd be cool.
It's got to be. But we've got a little exclusive.
We have
A new design. A new design of flames.
Yeah, ta-da.
Look at that. This is the first.
They look nice. I like them.
I love the colour.
I really
Absolutely
like
love
them.
the colour of them.
They came in the post today, so
We're the first people to see them. Apart from Adam, obviously.
I'm looking forward to trying them on. So yeah,
They're nice. They're really nice.
so they'll be on sale probably now by the time you've watched this. So go check those out. And, there is a discount code, so find that on Facebook.
Have you got your own sort of...
I have a code, but I'm sure if you sign up to their newsletter, you'll probably end up getting sent a code, because every now and again they do sales and bits and pieces. So yeah,
Cool.
find that
There you
out.
go.
So tell us a bit more about this charity then, the Kids Marathon.
So they were called Kids Run Free, but they've, I guess, rebranded, got everything into one, called it Marathon Kids UK, and they support children in all schools in the UK that sign up for it, and they encourage kids to do a marathon distance within a school year.
Within a school year.
Yes.
And these are kids from any age, sort of...
As far as I'm
6,
aware of, yeah,
5.
from about that age all the way up to, I think maybe even into mid-teens.
What part do you play in this? Do you go school visits, or
Um,
have you done any yet?
Not through them, I haven't. I have done school visits. I've done a lot of school visits in general, but COVID, I haven't done any in the last 2 years.
What's a school visit then? Do you just talk about running, or do you go on the track with them, or...?
I've done a bit of everything. So I've done one where I've been to a school visit to open a shed for them. They got a brand new shed, so
Yeah, right.
cut the ribbon. I've done talks where I talk about, and I take a few of my medals and trophies, talk about the fact that running isn't just about the winning, but it's the taking part and the journey from their age going up. It's not always going to be easy, but that's the sense of adventure. You've got to build your way up, stepping stones.
See, I think running is the only sport I agree with that, where it's the taking part that counts. Everything else, that's just me though.
I'm not being funny, but if I'm going into something and it's competitive and we're playing competitive, I'm going in to win.
Well,
I'm not going in for...
Yeah, but running. If I completed a 5k park run, the sense of achievement for me, mate, would be amazing.
Yeah.
It really would.
Well, I said that, but then again, like me and you, obviously, we golf and stuff like that. I don't play against you, or I don't play... I
play for your
play that
handicap.
for myself,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm playing still competitively against me, so I'm still going out to win.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Yeah.
But I've done races where people have gone to me, oh, I know someone who could have beaten you at that. Well, you've got to be in it to win it, so they've got to be there to beat me.
Someone that could have...
Yeah,
what a shitty attitude.
Someone from you get people from like the US that, I'm not just obviously picking on the US, it's just sometimes you get some really weird and odd comments from them. My 10-10 was one of them, because someone over there claimed to have broken my record. I don't know if it was him or the media that made that, and for some reason Runners World UK magazine posted it, and obviously got big highlights where mine didn't anyway. But I had a faster time. I think it was only 2 hours faster than his before that, but I hadn't claimed for the record. Because being dyslexic, it's really difficult, and you get a lot of paperwork. My wife eventually helped me, but it was just really annoying knowing that they were putting this out there saying that he had the record when it was a lot slower than my record. So with the help of my wife, I was able to get it official thing, but I never got an apology from the magazine.
Lad Matt Yanks. I can say it.
Yeah, there's the negatives and there's the positives through running, and through social media. It's sometimes you get some really weird ones. Before I broke the 10-10 record, there's no way you could have done 10 marathons in that sort of time.
Are these all dreamers?
Oh, I don't know, but I delete the message. There's no point in replying, because it's not going to help me or help them.
No.
But just go out and do it. So I did.
Yeah, I like that. Actions speak louder than words, don't they?
Yeah, of course they do.
100%. 100%. Have you had any serious injuries? Well,
no, I've been
really
very, very lucky.
Chicken nuggets. I'm telling you.
I'm going to keep referring back to that.
Yeah, really lucky. No serious injuries. I've had niggles. I've had to the point where I've been really sore. Did you know that I've run from John O'Groats to Land's End?
Well, actually from John O'Groats to Land's End, or
Yes.
you had about virtually?
No,
you physically did it?
I physically did it in 17 days.
Bloody hell. Now that's a run.
Yeah, it was a run.
Wow.
But when I got further down here, I think it was actually near Wellington, actually. My wife came to surprise me. It was all happy, good, and I was wet, and I didn't change quickly enough. Muscles, everything got cold, and I really struggled to walk from the hotel to the food place. And I thought at that moment I was not going to be able to carry on and finish it the next day. And luckily I was able to get up the next day. I got to the start line, got moving, and I was able to carry on. And if I hadn't have got up, if I'd given up the night before, then I would probably have regretted it for the rest of my life. And if I just got to that start line, which I did, and had a go, then it was the best way to find out is just to get to that start line and see how I got on.
Yeah, of course.
Because you don't know unless you don't try.
John O'Groats to Land's End.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
That it's just something I really wanted to do when I was younger. I had tried it previously, but I didn't even get out of Scotland. But I had done the 24 marathons in 17 days prior to it. My ankle swelled up when I did it, between me and the organiser, we decided that I should not carry on because it was swollen, and I wanted to carry on. But I knew a couple of weeks later I was going to be cycling it, so from John O'Groats to Land's End. So rested and then cycled it down with my friends. So I did the bike ride in 9 days.
Lee's done that with his dad.
Yes, he has.
Hasn't he?
I mean, even that as a bike ride.
To cycle it is something,
Yeah.
to run it.
Yeah,
Wow.
Do a little bit of cycling as well. So I've done like London to Paris as well.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's just
Just
a
a
little bit.
tiny bit of cycling.
London
Just
to
a little
Paris.
bit. A little bit.
Wow. Right, John O'Groats to Land's End, let's just rewind back there for a minute.
Yeah.
What sort of mileage was that doing a day? What sort of route did you take? Was you on your own?
No, it was an actual event.
Right, okay.
There was, for that, I think there was 6 or 7 of us who started. No,
How many finished?
7? Is that it?
Yeah. A lot of people don't make it out of Scotland. None of them did, apart from us two. And the other chap that was doing it more self-supported. So he was carrying all his own stuff, where I was getting bits and pieces from the van that was driving every 6 to 8
Is that an event support vehicle?
Yeah.
Or just yours? An event?
No, that was the event
Right,
support
okay.
vehicle, and I was grabbing bits and pieces, but I did lose a lot of weight through that event because I wasn't eating enough.
Yeah.
So you didn't go through drive-through?
I
Wow.
probably did at some point.
70, what mileage was you doing? Was you staying in hotels?
So the shortest one was 36 miles, and the longest day was 63 miles, and it was hotels, so we actually had to run to the hotels. So you kind of had a couple of little detours to go off from the main route just to get to the...
Was that timed as well? Or was
Yes.
it just 17 days?
Yeah, it was a timed event, and if you were outside the time to complete that day, they would say you can't do the next day.
Right, okay.
You then had to find your way home from wherever it was that you finished.
Yeah.
Well,
You didn't even get your BFH?
They would drop you off at the train station or
Yeah.
wherever it is, but you would have to find your own way home. So
That's shocking.
What's the mentality pushing into that then? Obviously, you know you're running 30 to 60 miles a day, let's just say.
yeah,
Is it like, well, I'm going to get through the 5 days, first 5 days are going to be easier, then you're going to hit the wall? And do you hit walls?
yeah, they hurt.
You still hit walls?
Yeah, now and again.
Do you hit a wall during a marathon?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
It just depends how I run it, because if I'm going off too fast, I know I'm going
course.
to hit the
Of
wall
course.
at some point.
Wow.
How do you push past that?
Yeah, that's...
Just keep moving.
Everyone says that.
Slower, but just keep going.
Just don't stop. Is it that carry on momentum sort of thing? If you stop, it's a lot harder to go.
You either can't get going or you're just not going to get going. Once you've stopped, you've stopped. And a lot of the time, it's your mental side's gone before your physical. Your body could still probably go, but you're mentally just like, oh, I can't do this.
So you're running between 2 and 4 hours per day then for 17 days-ish?
More than that.
Oh, yeah?
Between 8 to 10 hours.
Wow.
It was kind of a crawling run. So I wasn't running at a fast... First couple of days was faster, but when you get into it, you're running at like 10 to 13 minutes a mile. So
Right, okay.
A lot slower.
Yeah, 13 minute a mile. I'm not a runner, but that is a relatively average to slow mileage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you say? 13 minutes?
It's kind of what an average runner could do, because it's like about a 40-minute park run, and usually the last person in a park run is about 55 minutes, and that's walking.
Right.
55 to an hour.
Yeah, yeah. So do you have to go in with a plan in place, like the first 4 days it's going to be at this pace, and then see how you go, or do you just go for it and see what happens?
I did the second one, but you do generally have to go in with a plan of kind of what you're going to be eating, how you're going to kind of run it. That there's just things you cannot plan for. You don't know what the weather's going to be like.
Did you have some adverse conditions?
Yeah, we had rain, we had wind, we had sunshine. It was cold at times.
And it's like you say, rain and wind. That's what you can walk in rain and wind. But when you're running, it's a different. Surely it's got to be a different.
It's hard, especially in the Scotland sections where you're running across a bridge and the rain's coming across.
Yeah.
The wind. It really hurts.
It's different weather up there.
Yeah.
Scotland's totally different. Well, you've just come back, haven't you?
I have
It's totally different.
Scotland. Last week, week before.
Week before.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the weather's different in different sections you get to, and also the elevation is also different. So, like, I think kind of the southwest of England is more hilly, more steeper, but Scotland is hilly but not as steep. And kind of Midlands it has hills but more flatter.
Yeah. Apart from the Peak District, that sort of thing.
There's a few hills there.
Really? That's not a trend for you?
I don't mind.
I don't mind.
I don't mind.
Wow.
You just kind of get used to these things.
Yeah, I suppose you do, don't you? It's your life, isn't it?
Legs of steel. I told you this on the way up. Legs of steel.
The amount of people that ask me for my legs.
Yeah.
They can't have them because I've got them.
Yeah, I think it's your lungs as well, surely.
They're alright, yeah.
Yeah, they must be.
Yeah, you've got to have good lung capacity because you've got to keep everything oxygenated.
Yeah, I've done the test on treadmill, but I don't know what my how the results relate to how well my lungs are, I guess. I just know they got the results and I've done it.
I like your way of thinking about stuff.
Quite relaxed.
Yeah, it's not...
Yeah,
I really like that.
Chilled out, innit?
Yeah, I thought we was going... I had a preconception, obviously, before that was the first time I've met you, the first time I spoke to you, really, other than messages. I had a preconception that because how successful you've been in your running career, and how you still are, it would be quite scientific about fueling, right? I do yoga 4 times a week, I stretch half an hour. Do you know what I mean?
I can't sit up, so I don't do yoga.
No, you don't do... And do you do stretching?
It's alright, don't worry about it.
Is it alright?
I've boosted the light on camera. It'll do. We carry on, mate. This is live podcast, things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot more in-depth and...
Don't mind me, I'm just making sure.
In-depth and scientific, but I really like that blasé approach.
Yeah, it just kind of
It's quite old school, isn't it?
It works for me.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people get bogged down in too many thoughts.
There's a lot of things you could think about.
Would you say that?
Yeah, because one of the things a lot of people have got into is the social media side of things, and then it's all the data. It needs to go on Strava, needs to do this, that, and the other.
Are you on Strava?
I'm on Strava, and I do a lot of this stuff that other people do as well. I try not to let it over consume me.
It's so easily done, isn't it?
Yeah, and being dyslexic as well doesn't help with kind of writing the blogs, and I've been asked a couple of times when my book is coming out.
Are you doing a book?
No, I want to do a book. I really do want to do a book, but it's putting it all together, and I couldn't really do with a proper writer to sit down and write it through.
I've got contacts if you want some.
Go on then.
I work for an author.
Okay.
And she knows many publicists and stuff like that, and proofwriters and.
Cool. I do know one writer, but they are quite busy, and they did Steve Edwards' book.
Right. Okay.
So he's coming up to his 1,000 marathons soon.
1,000 marathons.
Yep. And he's trying to get under a 3:30 average.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's maybe around 930 odd at the moment. I haven't looked at his social media for a while, but I know he's still doing a few.
That's crazy.
Is he like one of the number one people that's run the most marathons or something? Because that name means nothing to me.
No, he's not.
Because that's a lot of marathons. I'm not being funny.
There is a actual list, a world ranking list of most marathons, and it's anyone who's done over 300 marathons and as part of one of the 100 marathon clubs are on this list. And I think I'm about 400 and something at the moment, maybe just under 400.
Is that constantly changing? Ongoing each
well,
you do?
When they update it, it's kind of like once a year or once every 2 years.
Right, okay.
So it only constantly changes when they update it.
Yeah.
Brian Mills, who's here in the UK, I think he's about 1,400 marathons, something like that. I know there is another chap here in the UK, John Q, and I think someone said he'd done over 1,500. But I think the one that's got the most in the world, I'm pretty sure I've met him over in Italy, and he's done over 2,000.
Wow, 2,000 marathons. Do you think you'll ever get up there?
Maybe one day, but it just costs a lot of money.
I bet it does.
I bet it does.
You won't think running is a sport that's influenced by finance. Look, like for golf, for example.
Yeah.
That's very heavily influenced on finance. You could have as much skill in the world, but if you can't afford a golf club membership at 7 golf clubs, you can't. I didn't think running was like that. I'm still Neanderthal in my head. Oh, run! just running through fields. But it's
triathlon's worse. That's really expensive too, because you've got the bike, the swim, and the run. But running, you obviously got to pay to travel. If you're travelling, if it's a long way, you've got the accommodation. Yeah. Then there's the kit as well, or the entry to the race.
Yeah, they're not cheap, are they, sometimes?
No, some of the marathons are £50 each.
Yeah.
Or
you're doing 2 a weekend,
yeah, it all adds up.
Wow.
So, that's expensive.
It is, isn't it?
That's why we had to miss the last 3 races at the weekend, because I didn't have the pennies to actually get to the race.
I think that's a bit unfair, stuff like that.
It is, isn't it?
You know what I mean? Someone can have all the money in the world, run a marathon every weekend. No kids, no family ties. You know, yeah.
I'm happy with having a family tie.
Of course.
You just got to balance it all.
Yeah. Do you find that difficult? Well, I suppose you don't train. Like we think of training, like me, when I'm in training, I'm at the gym 5 times a week, and I'm sacrificing some evenings to go to the gym. I'm waking up at 5 o'clock to get to the gym in before work. You don't do that, do you?
No, but obviously my wife is not in there. She's cooking tea, or cooked tea for the 3 kids.
Yeah.
Should be bedtime soon. Do
you want to shoot off before bedtime?
No, when we're done, I'll go and help.
So don't let us keep you if you've
got
family stuff to sort out.
I got half an hour.
That's cool. That's all good.
We'll have wrapped up before then.
Yeah. No, I still find it fascinating. I've got like the virtual. I want to ask you about the virtual running.
Yeah.
I've
done a lot of different types of virtuals.
I'm not going to say I've joined you. Yeah. But I watched you when I was in the bath. I think I messaged it. I like my mind to be active while I'm not. You know what I mean? So I thought I'll just pretend
you're in the bath.
I'll pretend I'm running.
Okay.
So no, obviously
secretly doing this with his feet.
Yeah, I was just
in the bath. What a slosh!
I was doing steps at the bottom. I got my steps in. It's What spurred that on? Why are you virtual running? Because you set it up yourself, you do one for yourself as well, people join you, don't you?
Yeah, so for my birthday I've set up a virtual race where it's free, they do 3.5 miles and they can submit their results onto this website. But there is a medal option where they can pay for a medal and I can post it out to them if they want a medal as well. But virtual because of COVID.
Is that why it all started?
It's mainly there were virtuals before COVID, but when COVID hit, there weren't any races, and I needed something, so virtual stuff became a big part of my running. So I did a lot of Swift, virtual world running.
I've seen them, they're pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah, and then I've got several different videos of different types of virtual events I've done, where one was a 9-hour event, and every hour I'd get a text message saying what distance I'd have to run, and I'd go and do that distance, and you have to do it within that hour to obviously keep being able to stay in the competition, which I did, and I won the competition.
How do you find, because that, again, I say I don't run, I do a couple of kilometres. If I'm doing legs at the gym or something, to warm them up, get the blood flowing, I'll do a couple of K on a sort of tread. I'm bored. I'm so bored after half a kilometre.
That's why I ran in a virtual world, because if I didn't have Swift, it would be...
Could you still do it? Have you still got the mental capability of just running head down, looking at that white wall, head down, because you keep running?
If I was focused for something, if I knew that I needed to do it for, say, cyclists, then yes, I could. But if I didn't have a goal of some sort, it would be a lot difficult.
I'm glad I can share that little bit of difficulty with you.
Yeah. See, I can't run on a treadmill. It makes me feel sick.
Does it?
Yeah.
It does for me if there's something in front that bounces because of my running style.
I think for me it's more, it messes with my mind because I'm moving and nothing else is moving.
Okay.
And that's what I think it is. And then it's, and then when I come off of the treadmill,
you're wobbly.
Everything's moving. It's like, and it's not. I'd be like, oh.
I wonder what you'd be like in the world of Swift, seeing yourself moving on a screen.
It's like too much virtual reality. You know, when you've got the VR headsets on. If I'm on that for too long,
some of those videos are so funny.
That makes me feel sick as well.
What, when people are videoing people in goggles?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're falling over. And
they're walking on the plank and then they're falling.
Yeah, it messes with my melon. Completely messes with my melon. I can't get my head around it. It's not right.
I quite like the one where they run into a door.
Yes, yeah, they're fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well, you just mentioned your running style. When I've seen videos and clips of you running, and I suppose it's all runners at your level, your
quite a long
stride. Is that where you get the speed and the distance coverage?
Well, a little bit.
I mean, because I've got probably longer legs than you, arguably.
A lot of people talk about, I say a lot of people, but runners talk about runners' cadence and the amount of time your feet stay on the floor to how fast you rotate. So obviously helps you to travel faster. My cadence is quite low compared to what it could be, but my rotation is quite slow.
Right.
Again, science is kind of...
Yeah. So do you bother with technique?
Are
you conscious?
No, I'm not conscious at all. But
is that because you've done it that often? It's natural. You don't have to.
It is natural for me, but I do find that when people become injured of some sort, they change their running style.
Compensate for that.
And it makes something else happen, which then makes the injury worse, and that's why they find it harder to get back. And sometimes it is mental than it physically is an injury.
Yes.
So 2 weeks ago I did parkrun and I ended up twisting my ankle, but it hurt. But then I just took a couple of what's the word for it? Kind of wobbly steps of running, and then just try to keep my rhythm going normal, even though it was.
So then you was conscious of your style and your technique to
just making sure my style was the same, so that I wasn't gonna do anything.
You don't think there's a running style, would you?
There's loads of different running styles. And the way people run, some people run from the back of the foot to the front toe. Mine's quite neutral, so I'm from back to front, so that's why my shoes last a little bit longer.
And even wear, sort of thing.
Yeah, and then it depends how high you lift your knee or how far you kick your legs. Use your arms, because your arms drive your legs.
Yeah.
I was always told that when we were in TA, keep your arms going and your legs will keep going. Regardless of how tired your legs are, just keep your arms going. And then
my arms are really relaxed when I run.
Are they?
Yeah. I know that I need to use my arms a bit more sometimes.
Right, okay.
And then you've got the good old action man, huh?
Yeah. People do that?
Yeah.
I bet you see it all the time.
I've seen a few.
That's more of a
older
sprinting
runners.
thing, though, isn't it?
It's just the way they've learnt to run.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah. It's just different styles. Down the side, and front. It's just how people grow into comfort running.
If you don't mind giving a tip, please, for one particular person. He's been on our podcast before.
Okay.
Adam Guiness.
Mm.
Guiness Fitness. I went to school with him. He was 11 years old. He got knocked off his bike.
Ouch.
Dragged half a mile up the road at 80 miles an hour.
Wow.
Left for dead. Spent 6 weeks in a coma. When he came out of the coma, his parents were told it doesn't look good. He's not going to survive, but he did survive. He had to learn to eat, to walk, to talk as a baby. And he's now a personal trainer specialising in physical rehabilitation. It's really inspirational. He's a really inspirational dude. And he said on the podcast, didn't he? He made a goal on the podcast with us that he's going to 2023 complete the London Marathon.
That's cool.
So if you have got any tips for somebody completing the first marathon, I don't mean want just general tips on how to go to your first marathon. I mean, he's not going for no records. You know, he's got a permanent disability.
Well, one thing I always say to someone who's doing their first one is don't think about time. Just go out and enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, because they can always do another marathon if they want to go for a time. But if they do their first one, you can do the training just so that you're physically and mentally ready to do it. But don't worry about time. Just go out there, enjoy the whole atmosphere. Find someone to chat to as you're running, or bring someone with you that's doing it, and just enjoy the whole experience.
Nice. So from one Adam to another Adam via another Adam.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it, mate. That's a tip from obviously this man here. And if there's anyone who's to give tips on running, I think Adam's the man.
I think he's endorsed to do so.
Yes. We've got loads more stuff we want to show you from Adam's collection, but I think we'll take some still clips of that and add them into the podcast. So do you want to promote yourself or your charities or anything like that where people can find you, follow you?
Yeah, I can do that.
Please do. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
So my website is adamholland.uk. I'm just trying to think. I've got all different things. I've got Facebook, I've got Instagram, I've got Twitter, though I don't use
We'll
that
find the
much.
links and put them in the description for you.
Please support my YouTube channel, subscribe, check out the videos. Always leave a comment so that I can comment back and tell me what you think about the videos. It's always good to know what people think of them.
Yeah, of course.
And
it's nice to do this because obviously when I've seen a few of your videos, obviously when I'm coming to see you, I need to know a bit about you. But I don't feel I get to know you on your videos. Because they're not for that, are they?
No, they're about
exactly
my journey in that
It's
run.
nice to have this to put alongside it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, he's actually a really, really cool dude and he's a nice guy to to go with it. So it's good. It's good. So yeah, get on Adam's YouTube channel if you can and give him a follow and obviously support him.
And if they have any questions, just feel free to find my Facebook, Adam Tango Holland, and just send me a message. And if I've got anything that they're interested in, like the treadmill, I have a discount code or Flancy. Or if you've got something that'll help me, that's always great.
Yeah, it can make you run quicker, it can motivate you, it's very inspirational, and it can save you money. What more do you want from one person? So yeah, thank you very much, Adam. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate, chatting with you. I'm so glad we finally met. And we'll hook up again, no doubt, when you get your 100th at Newark.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that is though.
No. But obviously Jan beat you last time, didn't he?
He did, because I didn't want to run really fast, and he made me run faster than I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I was really tempted to overtake him, but that last straight I was like...
Was that for your 100th win?
Yeah.
Your 100th park run win?
No, at that event. I've done 130 or 20.
What, in Newark?
No, in general.
Right.
But I'm on 99 at Newark. But yeah, we went off. I followed him for most of it. I did go in front for a little while and then met him back in front. And it was just that last straight, I was like, I really wanted to pass him. And
could you?
Yeah, I could have done. But I had the 24-hour race starting at 12 in a couple of hours after that. And
we're finishing podcast on this.
Yeah. I wanted to, but as he went, I went, well done, and let him like that, and just let him go down. And
so you called him up, pat him on the back.
Well, I didn't pat him on the back, I was with him, but I just really didn't want to push, because I really wanted to do well in the 24-hour race, which I did.
You did.
Yeah.
So are they from the guys in Newark that I think they're kind of pleased that you didn't win.
Yeah,
because they've got to go. You've got to go back now.
To come back.
So they want him to go back. So next time you do, mate, obviously we'll keep in touch, and I will come down and see you at the park run. My missus will be running as well, no doubt.
And you will be walking around doing it too.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. But no, that was fantastic. Thank you very much for your time again, man.
Thank you.